welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of February 28th to March 6th. We are moving into March, y'all. It is a full week astrologically, but all really wonderful aspects. And actually, the astrology is always really wonderful. It's really about how are you using the energy, right? So I'm going to give you a lot of tips and tricks this week on how to use the energy to your benefit, because this can be a beautiful, dreamy, intuitive, spiritual week if you allow it to be. And if you are sitting with your triggers and there's something there that feels hard, feeling the feelings is hard, then you're going to start to feel those things come up for you to heal them. So let's get started. So Monday, there's no real aspects there are aspects that are forming on that day, but they're not exact. But the moon is in Aquarius and we're starting off the week in a fourth quarter phase. So what that means is the moon is losing in light and there's a new moon in Pisces on the Wednesday. So we're not going to feel very motivated, excited. This Pisces season anyway. This Pisces season doesn't have a lot of get up and go. This is more of a kind of just feel your feelings, flow with things. This is very Caribbean, right? Caribbean time. Just relax, see how things go. But because Venus and Mars are together in Capricorn conjunct with Pluto, there is an intensity about this time of what are you doing? Are you staying true to your values, self-mastery, that kind of thing? That's still in play here, but it's going to come in a different way a bit. So as we start off the week with this fourth quarter moon, the moon is in Aquarius, and there's some other moon aspects on the Monday that's making it a little bit of an intense day where you're thinking through your feelings, you're not feeling your feelings. So it's a great cerebral day to think about, why are you feeling the way you're feeling and bringing some awareness to that. Not a great day to have a deep conversation about feelings and emotions, because you're just not really having it on this day. I mean, it's a great time to kind of discuss how you're feeling, why you're feeling what you're feeling. But if you're trying to connect to someone emotionally, it's not going to happen on this day. All right. And then as we move into Wednesday, we have a beautiful new moon in Pisces. And this new moon in Pisces is so beautiful. So Pisces is all about idealism, creativity, intuition, spirituality. It's the last sign of the zodiac. So think of it as a culmination of all of the life lessons, all of the learnings as we've come from Aries, being born and trying to figure out this life and body, all the way now into Pisces, where we've sort of figured things out as much as we can. And now we're into transcendence. We're into the subconscious. We're into spirituality. What is all of this for, right? And it's really for spiritual growth. That's really what Pisces is all about. So when we think about Pisces, this new moon in Pisces, new moons are a time when the sun and the moon come together at the exact same degree, exact same minute. And it's a time to set your intentions, plant your seeds for manifestations. This is a time to kind of go, what am I doing with my life? And really, we've just come through an intense time, haven't we? There's been so much going on. And so at this time, there is this beautiful new moon come together. So the sun, which is our vitality, the way we feel about ourselves, our kind of egoic will, our moon, which is our intuitive self, our divine feminine, our Jupiter is also coming together at the same time with the sun and moon. Jupiter is expansion, optimism, good luck. He's a great benefic of the astrology, of the zodiac, of the astrology. And these three planets are coming together to really expand Pisces. So this is dreams, vivid, amazing dreams. Great time to have a dream journal the day before and the day after, because you're going to start to get some really deep intuitive things come to light from your spiritual self to your consciousness. Because Pisces rules the subconscious, or the things that were kind of hidden or we're not aware of, or maybe even our blind spots, if you will. Pisces also rules like therapy, healing, psychology, prisons, things that we sort of hide away, right? That we don't show to everybody. The 12th house rules that stuff too. So Pisces typically occupies the 12th house in the natural zodiac wheel. So when we think about this Pisces time, right, this is expansion of optimism, of spirituality, of our oneness, right? It's everyone coming together because we are all one, right? When we individuate in Aries, we are then an egoic side, and we have to have a point of difference. That's why our ego is there, so that we can create a point of difference between you and me, because if we knew we were the same, then there would be no friction. And there has been a lot of friction, right? And so this is a beautiful time to heal this divide and to see that we are all one, that we all want the same things. And there's the Jupiter, Sun, and Moon conjunction come together as a team. They're sextile, which is a 60-degree angle, to Uranus, which is rebellion, eccentricity. But this is really about when Uranus is in a favorable position, like a sextile, this is actually bringing ingenuity, creativity, this, how can we do things differently, out of the box solutions coming in here. So this is going to be a really kind of beautiful time to understand, what is this all for? What is this coming together? There's a healing aspect to all of this, which is lovely. And it can also be a time of idealism. That's kind of one of the shadow forms of Pisces, is idealistic idealism, devotion without really kind of thought about it. I'm devoted to this cause. I'm devoted to these people because they say good things and I believe in them. And it's not a thinking through sign, right? It's a devotion, it's love. I follow my heart and do those things. So there can be a lot of the other side, the shadow side of Pisces coming up, which is escapism, drugs, addiction, kind of feeling like the victim, martyrdom, feeling like, oh, woe is me, or everyone's out to get me. And you just want to run away. You don't want to talk about things. And it can kind of button you up a little bit. So be careful about that. But this is a great time for visions, dreams, or intuition, and leaning into your spirituality. Like anything in life, it is what you make it. So if you are able to, during this new moon in Pisces, and this Pisces time, to sit with your intuition and to flow with life, right? Instead of trying to control it and trying to figure out, what do I need to do? That patriarchal, I need to produce, I need to do things, I need to be productive. Otherwise, I'm not a contributing citizen. That's not Pisces. That got to go away. But we're into our intuition. This is the most sensitive, creative, mutable sign in the whole zodiac. It just flows. It's flowing water. It's mutable water. So think of just water filling in like a glass jar of marbles, and then the water just goes wherever. So Pisces is not known for good boundaries. So this is also a really great time to have some boundaries about what you will and won't receive, or what you will and won't accept as a label for yourself. So that just kind of came to me. That's totally channeled. Now, another part of this new moon is also that Mercury and Saturn are coming together in Aquarius. So Saturn is about responsibility, duty, structure. Are you doing the right thing? Self-mastery. And when it's with Mercury, this is our thinking mind. So we think things through. Aquarius is a brilliant sign, right? It's a fixed air sign. And one of the things with a fixed air sign is it's brilliant, it's intelligent, it likes to take concepts and elevate it, and it knows what it knows, but it can also be very idealistic and judgmental because it knows what it knows. So you can't push it off it. And I'm not open to hearing anyone else's point of view. So it's not every Aquarius is like that. It's just when it's turned up too loud. That's what can happen with Aquarius, that we're not open to hearing other people's point of view, or we're so idealistic with our values and our beliefs that we judge others through that lens, and no one can move us off that because we know what we know. So when we bring that into this new moon with these two planets coming together, this is a wonderful opportunity to use what we know about community, humanitarian aspects, those are Aquarian traits, things that are about coming together and supporting the collective to evolve. Can we use our knowledge about structure and our responsibilities and what we know to come together to try to bring everybody together, right? To bring everyone in humanity together so we can rise together, right? That's the beautiful optimistic side of that trait. Our harder aspect of that trait is judging everybody and saying my point of view and us versus them, and you don't know, and you don't actually care about humanity and freedoms and our rights, because Aquarius is about freedoms and being free to be. So it is one thing to be free to be and put me first and screw y'all. And it's another point to be free to be and put community first and let's do this all together. And I think what happens and what we've seen happening in the news is where when people feel not heard, not seen, not safe, ostracized or belittled or othered, then what happens is they band together and then there's rebellion, there's anger, there's grief, and we start to see a lot of hurt things happen and hurt people. So how can we come together? Well, I'm glad you asked, because the last aspect is Pluto, Venus, and Mars coming together in the last degrees of Aquarius and last degrees of Capricorn. And so this degree of Capricorn, it's interesting because it's coming together at this new moon. Mars is coming together at this 27 degree of Capricorn, and that's considered its exaltation. It's the favorite place to be in the whole zodiac wheel. So during this new moon, he loves to be there because he feels of service. He can feel there's self-mastery there. He wants to create structure and discipline and something that's going to last the test of time. And Venus is there because she's loving being somebody that's going to be of service as well and create something that's going to last the test of time as well. And she likes to be structured, and she likes to be safe, and she likes to have structure under her feet. There's kind of a safety with that. And then Pluto is there breaking up all of the old stuff, right? He's like, no, we're not going to have any of this old stuff where this is intense feelings. This is intense, commitment to a cause and mastery of self and mastery of what do we come here to do? And it can also be governments and policies and procedures. So with Pluto in here with Venus and Mars, this is the will of the people are wanting to change things so that it can really last the test of time and truly encompass everyone for the good of humanity. So good, right? So good. So it can also be a very passionate time with Venus, Mars, and Pluto together. And it can also be a very, although it's not fiery because Capricorn is an earth sign, but it can lead you to, again, ideals, right? This is what I believe in, mastery and power authorities breaking up. So this can also be, it's quite interesting because Pluto is coming to its return in the US chart, birth chart. So he's coming back to its original position where it was at 1776 when the Declaration of Independence was signed in the US. And this is a very interesting time because this return is happening again at the 27th degree-ish, I think it's around there. And this Pluto return with Mars next to it is a marker for possibly war or massive changes or really big changes to the system of things. So interesting, again, how will it play out? It really depends on the will of the people and the energy of the moments, but these are sort of that propensity. And we already know that there are energies and powers building to a possible conflict in Ukraine with Russia and world powers coming together to help with that. So that's going to play out later in the week. Saturday, March 5th, we now have the Sun conjunct Jupiter, and the Sun coming together with Jupiter. This is going to be a really beautiful time again. So, I mean, we already saw the glimpse of it at the new moon, but Jupiter is expansion, optimism, good luck, and the Sun is our vitality, our energy. So both of those two planets coming together in Pisces, this is a very dreamy, very spiritual intuition, a lovely state to be in for us to come together and connect in something very spiritual like meditation or walking in nature or retreats, something of that nature. That would be really, really wonderful. Where it would not be so great is if we're not dealing with our ish and then we feel like we just want to escape into these things like meditation or being by ourselves or drinking alcohol, or drinking as alcohol, drugs, things like that are sort of, we start to disassociate. It can be disassociative energy as well. So this is an invitation to stay present, to have some boundaries of what you will and won't accept, and come into what is it that your spirit is nudging you to. Because this new moon in Pisces is about big visions, big dreams, and are you following it? Are you doing the thing, right? Are you listening to your intuition and following that path? Or are you still trying to make something happen for yourself that's based in some ideology or belief that was passed down to you or imposed on you about what you should and shouldn't be doing at this time in your life or this age of your life, right? So this is a really great invitation inward into listening to your spirit, because I promise you what you are doing this week is going to reflect into April, because Jupiter and Neptune are already coming together, and this is considered a kind of a great conjunction with these two big planets coming to sit at the same degree in the zodiac. And that's going to happen on April 12th. And they're going to come together at the 23rd degree of Pisces. So this doesn't happen very often. So this is going to be a little bit of a snapshot of what's coming to light during that time now. I also should mention that any seeds that are planted of intention that are planted at the new moon in Pisces on Wednesday, March 2nd, are going to come to culmination on the full moon in Pisces at September 10th, 2022. So any intention that you set for yourself now, go ahead and put it in your calendar for September 10th, 2022, and just leave it as a little reminder to yourself of what was the intention that you set today. And then how does it come to culmination at the full moon in Pisces? I love doing that on my calendar, by the way. And I should also mention the new moon in Pisces on Wednesday is at 10:35 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So it's in the morning at 12 degrees of Pisces and 6 minutes. So as we come down into the week into Sunday, March 6th, this is a very interesting day. Venus and Mars are traveling together for a month and a bit here, actually 2 months almost, a month and a bit. And that's very unusual. They normally don't travel together for that long. And they're going to be moving into the sign of Aquarius together. That's very, very unusual. And so they're literally moving into the sign of Aquarius within 7 minutes of each other. 7 minutes. So Mars moves into Aquarius first at 11:23 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Sunday, March 6th. And this is when we move from Mars in Capricorn to Mars in Aquarius. We're moving from this kind of rigid, this is the way we're going to do things, structure, order, discipline, to coming into an Aquarius type of way of thinking outside the box, erratic energy. Mars is about our motivation, our desire, and our energy. So when Mars moves into Aquarius, it's not this regular, steady, steadfast energy that's in Capricorn. This is more erratic. We kind of go with the flow, but we're not really. It's kind of stop and start. It can affect internet and electricity as well, and unconventional methods, erratic energy. But this is about being a team player. Like, we want to come together, right? Aquarius is a team, connection, humanity, community, that kind of themes rule Aquarius. Less about personal power and more about kind of the collective and intellectual, and can be detached, right? It's sort of this cool energy of like, I'm going to do what I need to do, and it's not really about you. Non-emotional at all, unconventional methods. And Venus then moves into Aquarius 7 minutes later at 11:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And Venus in Aquarius moves from that Capricorn energy of reliable, loves to be in relationships that are dutiful. It's about mastery of self. We're doing things together, to now in Aquarius, this is about shining my unique light. We like the things that are unconventional. This is ingenious kind of energy, something that's outside the box. Community, humanitarian, freedom, expression. This is a real shift. This is about coming together now. How can we now use our energy to come together versus about being in our kind of self-mastery and this is my power and this is who I am and this is who you are. And now we're coming together. So this is really beautiful energy. If you're in a relationship or starting out a relationship, this energy can then take you to now starting to do like unconventional things together, or having these connections, or kind of trying different things that are very unique and not the conventional way of doing things. So this Venus and Mars, always when they come together, it is passion, it is connection, it is sexy energy. So this is a lovely time. If you're in a relationship, it's going to give you a little boost there as well. Interesting also to note Wednesday, March 2nd, with the new moon in Pisces. Because of Jupiter, Sun, and Moon in Pisces, this can be a lot of water. So this can be a time of flooding. And it's kind of weird that it's this time of year, because in the Northern Hemisphere, it's still a little cold. But if we got a massive melt, then it could really then cause some flooding or flooding around the world as well. So lots of water, pipe issues, things like that, if this is kind of prominent in your chart. And if you'd like to learn how to manifest using the new moon in Pisces, I am running a new moon in Pisces manifestation workshop on Tuesday, March 1st night at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. It comes with a handout, a law of attraction exercise, a meditation, astrology for the collective and for each sign. And if you're interested, it's 27 Canadian dollars. The link will be in my bio, and I would love to see you there. And there is a replay. It's on Zoom. And if you can't make it, you can get the replay. You get to keep the replay forever with the handout. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. This week is a little nuanced, as you can tell. I've kind of been flowing with the water back and forth a little bit, but hopefully this gives you a great perspective on the week. Great time to be in your intuition, in your spirituality, flowing with meditation or any spiritual techniques that you use to help yourself come back into alignment. Great week for that. So wishing you a wonderfully aligned week, manifesting your heart's desires and listening to that beautiful soul that powers up your body. Have a great week. Bye.